Hi everybody, welcome to tnSportsChat presented by Lehigh Valley Health Network. I'm Patrick Matsinko alongside Emmett McCall. Coming off of, I guess, what is kind of formally our last weekend of the fall sports season, wrapped up with field hockey, football, and volleyball teams competing in district and state playoff games.
Yeah, it wasn't a good Saturday for our area teams. All of them had really tough opposition, so we knew coming in Northwestern football against Lehigh Valley, Panther Valley volleyball against Lehighton Catholic, Lehighton field hockey against Wyoming Seminary. You know, all really, really tough opponents, and none of them were able to survive.
No, and you think about, kind of Northwestern, that was a rematch of a game earlier this season, which the Tigers did win, but just kind of reading back to maybe Chuck Hickson's preview story a week ago, I think there was a quote in there that from head coach Josh Snyder that Northwestern more or less played one of its best games in, kind of winning that one and preventing the Saucon Valley rushing attack from not really kind of exploding, which
they did against most teams this year. Ian Sizak
was almost 3,000 yards.
Right, and kind of had 200 plus in most of their games this season. Northwestern held them to like 142,
I think. Yeah.
Right, in their win. Coach Snyder from Northwestern called that a key, but they weren't able to duplicate that success on Saturday. Sizak ran for like 256 yards, 5 touchdowns. Northwestern actually got off to a good start in the game. We're winning 14-7 after the first quarter. Quarterback Devin Bollinger threw a couple of long touchdown passes in the first quarter. Well, we had a 62-yard pass to Justin Rada, 58-yard pass to Ryan Haas, and they were up 14-7, but Saucon scored the next 4 touchdowns in the game and kind of took control.
And I think that's a team that obviously is very capable of doing that. Just kind of, sort of scoring from anywhere on the field, that obviously big play, kind of splash play ability. They've been capable of it all season, and obviously they showed it again on Saturday night.
Yeah, high scoring average, over 30 points a game this year. Beat the Tigers 42-21. I don't know if we mentioned the final score, but a great season for Northwestern nonetheless. 9-3 record they finished with. So it was a really good year for the Tigers.
And you had mentioned about Devin Bollinger, certainly one of the key playmakers for them this season at quarterback. Obviously, he did a lot with his arm, with his legs. Yeah. That'll be a huge kind of piece for Josh Snyder and that staff to obviously build around.
Right, because
coming back next year.
He's only a junior. Yeah. I think was either first or second in total yardage. Probably with this last game might have
bumped him
up above Chris Whiteman for most passing yards. In the Times News, it was in the top 5 or 6 in rushing yards. So great season for Bollinger. Kind of came into his own this year. Started last year, but kind of really established himself this year.
And our other 2 teams, Panther Valley and Lehighton, actually both fell to state runners-up a year ago. The Panthers fell to a very tough, talented, deep Lehighton Catholic team on Saturday at Governor Mifflin Intermediate School. They were swept, but I thought really battled back in the second set. Had a lead, and it was tight late. Lehighton ended up pulling out that second set, and then eventually went on to sweep the match. But
you were down at the match. I was following you on Twitter a little bit. The first game was kind of a blowout, 25-11.
They jumped ahead, and
but Panther Valley really battled back. Jenna Dubosky's
nice
service.
run at the service line, which she did again. She did it against Science Leadership Academy as well in the first round game,
and helped them out to like a 7-3 lead, I think. And by the looks of your tweets, I think Panther Valley led the whole way until
it got up until the 22-23 point range, and then Lehighton kind of just edged ahead a little bit and was able to close out that match, close out that set, which I think to go up 20, take that 25-23, go up 2-0, and I know even Jason Lippo, the Lehighton Catholic coach, had said, when you're at this level and you're playing in a state quarterfinal match, it doesn't always have to be pretty, but when you can kind of win, just do what you have to do to sort of get to survive and to get by. that's huge because if Panther Valley takes the second set, that could change the whole
Oh, yeah.
dynamic of the match.
Volleyball is such a momentum type
Yeah.
of sport.
Oh, yeah.
And, Panther Valley wins that second set, it goes 1-1, then you don't know what's going to happen.
Sure.
But Delone rallies after trailing the whole game, takes that second game, and then they just kind of built on that in the third game and pulled away for that win.
But Panther Valley, again, a really, really great season. Schuylkill League champions, third straight district title, and a really
21-2 record.
Yeah, a nice core group of girls coming back next season. They're losing three seniors from this sort of starting rotation: Sarah Zabrowski, Rochelle Filer, and Emily Quake. But obviously, like we mentioned about Jenna DeBosky, Erica DeBosky, Olivia Dacey. So, obviously they have a really nice core group of girls that'll be coming back next season. So, and then Lehighton, again, another team that had a great season, picked up a district title for the first time in quite a while after, kind of being a district runner-up the last 2 years. Picked up a first-round win in states over Susquehanna, but ran into
juggernaut.
A really tough Wyoming Seminary team.
Yeah, 11-0, the Indians lost the game. And like you said, just a really, really tough team. Scary thing might be that they lost 2 matches during the season to somebody. They were 19-2-1, but it was one of those things, I think, where Sem got off to a really good start, and then, it just kind of snowballs on. Lehighton's kind of probably trying to pull out, get a little more offensive when they fall behind and take a few more chances, push some people up the field, and then it kind of snowballs.
And it's hard, that's a team that, and I know even Vanessa Rimby had said in the story that she didn't really think any of those goals were cheap goals, obviously. No. She thought that Sem earned all of them and that they're just great strikers, and you kind of saw that on Saturday, that they sort of lived up to that reputation, scoring 11 goals.
And you mentioned they were state runner-up last year, but they've been in the final pairing or final 2, 3 teams, 4 teams every year, it seems like, for the last decade and maybe beyond. Yeah,
they are a staple when it comes to field hockey in the state tournament, but again, a great year for the Indians.
16-5-1 final record for Lehighton, so great year. So all 3 teams were eliminated, but had a lot of success in the fall sports season, and now we have a little bit of a break before the winter sports season comes about. But during this week of downtime, we did have some sports news in the area.
Yeah, it's been nice. This is kind of obviously always that sort of traditional time when we have our national letter of intent signing ceremonies for various schools around the area. This week we had a couple. Just thinking off of top of my head, obviously we had Northern Lehigh, which held a ceremony for 5 student athletes that'll be continuing their careers at the next level. One of which is Calista Smoyer, who will be attending West Virginia on a rifle scholarship. I had a chance to talk to Calista about that opportunity.
West Virginia is a really good, they have a really good rifle program, so I'm really excited to be going there and help their team do good at NCAAs and
What were some of the determining factors, I guess, that sort of led you to West Virginia?
Their coach is a lot like my coach, so he has the same type of coaching style, and their campus is really nice, and just the major and everything, and it's kind of close to home. So I'm really excited to be going there, and I just hope that it opens people's eyes up, because not a lot of people know about the sport. So I just kind of want to show people that it is real sport, and it can get you places.
That was Calista talking about continuing her career at West Virginia, which is a storied program, really, when you kind of go back through and look at all they've done as a team and individually.
It's a Division I program. Pat, you had a story in Thursday's Times News about it. They've won 5 out of the last 6 national championships.
19-time team champions. They've won a total of 26 combined individual titles. They are, like we talked about, Sem and field hockey being a staple. I think West Virginia in rifle is obviously kind of just sort of
the school mascot carries a rifle, so they know how to handle a rifle down at West Virginia.
I think that's sort of is a prerequisite, maybe. But
it's our first Division I signing of this school year. Hopefully, we'll have more in different sports and stuff. But that was our first one for this school year. We also had some Division II signings this week, some Division III signings. So keep an eye on the Times News. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even Monday. Some might spill over too.
Sure.
But check out all the other signings we've had.
Yeah, and obviously it's certainly very exciting, and it's fun too. I mean, it was fun for me to do a story on her kind of continuing her career with rifle, because that's something obviously we don't get to cover at all.
Right,
it's
because
just not
there's
very
no
prominent. So
district or no PIAA
No.
rifle teams anymore. Well, I guess none in our area. Let's put it that
we
way.
have, I think, maybe like Stroudsburg or the
Right.
Salisbury type, some other schools, but they're not in our coverage area.
Right, so she's not doing it as part of a Northern Lehigh team. She was actually on Alani
Rod and Gun Club. Yeah.
is where she does her shooting, and really congratulations to her on getting a scholarship to do it at the next level.
Absolutely. So that's kind of where we are with a lot of that stuff, but obviously we're certainly coming up on winter sports.
Right, we're transitioning.
Practice.
This is the transition week. Friday, tomorrow
Yeah.
is the first allowable PIAA basketball and wrestling practice and swimming practice dates. So all the schools will be out doing that this weekend.
Yeah, so that'll be here, and that means that our previews will be right around the corner for all of our schools and all of those individual sports.
Yeah,
as
we're
well.
planning to set the week of December 3rd through the 7th. We'll have 2 schools every day for our readers in the Times News. Get copies of the paper. We'll have team pictures. We'll have stories. And then the end of that week, December 7th, is the first day that games can be played.
Yeah, so that'll be here before you know it, and then toward the end of the month, obviously, we'll have our Players of the Year stories for all of our fall sports, which will really kind of cap and sort of put a bow on that season officially.
Right now, we're working on compiling statistics, taking some votes among our sports writers, and selecting there's 9 different fall sports. So getting that together, and like you said, the end of December is when we run those stories.
Yeah, so that'll be here. That'll be here soon, but I think that's all that we have for this week.
Yep, I think that's good. We'll be back hopefully in the next week or two, and we'll maybe touch on some of the basketball, wrestling, what we hear preseason-wise, what's happening with these teams, and before you know it, winter sports season will be started.
Yeah, so that's definitely a lot to look forward to. But congratulations to everyone on the signing ceremonies that took place this week, and then also for all of our fall sports teams and all the success that we had this season. So for Emmett, McCall, I'm Patrick Matsinko. Thank you again for tuning in to tnSportsChat, presented by Lehigh Valley Health Network.